Hello and welcome to the 1/106 of a second photography podcast. Some time ago, I bought a Godox flash for my iPhone, and it enabled me to essentially use an external flash with my iPhone. It worked via Bluetooth. You had to film, you had to be within the app for it to work. And it wasn't very powerful. You're really, really limited in what you can do with an iPhone. You can't change the aperture, you can change the ISO and the shutter speed. But because I had an old iPhone, an iPhone 6, I couldn't change the aperture. I couldn't change the shutter speed too much because it wouldn't sync with the flash. So I had a very slow shutter speed I could use. Now I could use that flash to trigger other flashes. So I could use it almost as a remote trigger. However, because I was using such low shutter speeds, there's no point really. I'd have to be in pitch black to really need that. And of course, even using very low flashes, I'd end up overpowering my image. So it was useful, great for night shooting, take it with you, put it in your pocket, great for night shooting. But things have moved on. You've got night modes now. That's better. That's going to be better. You've got computational stuff. That's going to be better. And so really it's not very good, and Godox have stopped supporting it anyway. But I did see an Anker flash for iPhone that plugs in. It plugs in via Lightning, and that's an external one. And I did see the Profoto C1. Now that's a bit old now, but it did make me think, is there a use with flash and iPhone? Well, I've got a slightly more modern iPhone now, and I think I get better syncing speeds. I can go a little bit faster. But I did have a look at the Profoto C1, and really you need to get the Profoto C1 Plus. So the Profoto C1 it is well priced. It's an LED that does flash, but let's face it, if you're going to be doing off-camera flash, you want to be able to mount it in a softbox or on a light stand. And the Profoto C1 doesn't have a tripod mount or any mounting options, but the Plus does. So you have to shell out for the Plus. If you shell out for the Plus, you get slightly more powerful, you get modeling light, you get strobing light, bigger battery, you can add gels, you can add accessories. But all of a sudden, you're sort of spending £200, £250, maybe £300 on a flash that now it's not such good value. The Profoto C1, the basic model, that's quite good value, but now it's not good value. So I do wonder whether that's any good or whether the Anker one is any good. The problem I have is I could use the Profoto C1 with my current iPhone, an iPhone 7, but I can't use the Anker one. So there's no way I could even test it out, the Anker one. You need at least an iPhone 11. Now, if you've got an iPhone 11, you've got night sight, you've got really much better computational photography, you've got night mode. Did I call it night sight? I think that's Google's one. You've got, computational photography, you've got your night modes. Would you really need a flash? So in order to have a flash, you need one of the most modern smartphones, but one of the most modern smartphones doesn't really need a flash. So it's a real peculiarity, and I can't see the need for it. But obviously someone's gone to the trouble to develop it, so maybe there is a need for it, and I just can't see it. So iPhone flashes or flashes for iPhone photography almost seems like a bit of an oxymoron to me. Something that you would use, something that you wouldn't use, because it's almost like from a bygone era. It's almost a generation ago needing a flash. They're now so good, these smartphones, that you don't need a flash even in low light. And we're seeing portrait mode and things like that. What they can do now is amazing. I don't think they'll ever replace a camera. I don't think your computational portrait modes are ever going to be as good as the real thing. But there we are. If you disagree, I'd love to hear it. Do let me know. And thanks for listening.